I have made a few other additions to the piece. I'm going to forward a little bit through the score to get to, let's see, I wanted to mention measure 36. Right, I have noticed that there are a few places where you can really hear the seams between phrases or between sections. So I'm trying to start to introduce a little bit of overlap. And for example, here in measure 36, I have the altos finish the word costume and then they move into I of I wish. And the tenor and bass, they sustain costume. And I think that the fact that they're going to need to articulate the of costume will be fine because it's not a really hard sort of pointed consonant that might disrupt our sense of the word I. So that's a way to do a little overlap there. Another thing that I have done is in this portion that follows, I have some material that's really spare, and I'm feeling that it serves as kind of a palate cleanser from everything that came before. And for me, it feels like there's a new section starting with the words heavy shoulder rides and naps on my chest don't happen anymore. Um, so I'm sort of starting a new section there. So this is a little bit of a palate cleanser. And the soprano and tenor enter after the alto and bass have been singing. I think that it will be pretty comfortable for the soprano and the tenor to get their pitches. The soprano comes in as just a third higher than the alto's previous note, and the tenor comes in on the same pitch as the alto. It'll sound an octave lower, but that same note. So I think those voices won't have too much of a difficult time to find their pitches because they've had some rests otherwise. And then I do introduce some imitation with the voices singing very similar parts, but entering one after the other. Here with this new section, heavy shoulder rides. And what else might I notice? Oh, right. In measure 54, I have so far the highest note of the piece. And it's that phrase, but my body remembers, which was something that stood out to me early on as something really meaningful and really strikes true. So I wanted that stood out to me, and I didn't necessarily intentionally want to emphasize it specifically, but I'm pleased that it turns out that there is a high note at this moment because it feels right to me. It feels like it fits with the meaning of the words and how strong that felt to me. So that's what I have at the moment. I will just forward through the score a little bit so you can see, again, I'm still sketching out some ideas. When I get to the words forever, that's in the phrase, I wish for a museum of childhood forever open. And then it continues on. And so again, I wanted to use some imitation here. And I didn't just want to have the soprano, the alto, the tenor, and the bass, four entrances. I wanted to spin out a little bit further than that. So tenor enters first, then soprano, then alto, then bass, but then tenor gets a restatement and the alto gets another chance at the word forever, just to keep that spinning a little bit and maybe so it's not quite so predictable with the four voices. And that's where I am at the moment, still working on ideas for the rest of the text and also the ending. So I will again attach the Sibelius playback to the end of this video so you can hear what I have so far.